Test one, two. Hey, everybody, Economic Ninja. I hope you are doing well. I'm doing well. Why? Because I am with Joe from Heresy Financial. Now, a lot of you guys know that we have just decided to really start joining forces for the common goal of helping the most amount of human beings. And I'm not joking. I'm talking about 1 million people that we want to change your lives. We want to have you not only survive, but thrive. Joe, how are you doing?
Very good. How are you doing?
I'm super pumped. I don't know when this is going to air. I'm thinking it's coming out sometime tomorrow, or the day it's coming out, we will already be landing in Denver. We're meeting a lot of people. We are super excited. How about you?
Man, I'm excited for that. We're going to be hanging out, making a lot of videos, talking to people. And like you said, just working through a lot of the issues that are happening right now, some of the changes in history transitions. And everybody that succeeds, we want people to succeed, because when we get to the other side, we're going to need the right people to have the resources to help build the right way.
Amen. All right, cool. So we're going to talk about consuming, being a consumer or producer. And it's really along the lines of, I shared my vision with Joe about where I want to see Ninja Nation go. And it's totally on board. But first I want to do this, because I want to show you guys a little bit of what we talk about in the background. First off, I want you guys to go and check out Joe's channel. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to put a link in the comment section, because I think he is way smarter than me. And I am not joking. I think Joe is amazing. I love his message. I love his work. So please go and check him out. Now, with that being said, Joe, why do I say that? Come on, just tell him.
Well, thank you. So we want to jump into the consumer producer conversation.
Yeah, but why am I telling that we need to follow each other? Because I love good competition.
Yeah.
I love good competition.
Well, 100%. And so it's been like a back and forth since we met, and I keep on inching closer to you. And then right when I get close, you pull away and you get this big spike, and you just somehow keep on pulling more and more subscribers out of your hat. And I promise I'm going to beat you to 200,000, and who knows when it'll happen, but it'll happen before you.
Exactly. And sorry again, guys, for being long-winded, but I want to share this with you because first off, I want to be truthful and transparent, and Joe does too. But also, I started this and it's hard. Joe knows what it's like to build a channel and get a following, and you guys are so awesome. All of our subscribers are amazing people. Mm-hmm. And that's what we set out to do in the first, attract the most amazing, smartest human beings possible. We've accomplished that. But I want to help everybody, and I want to blow those people up everywhere around me. And me and Joe we're running this way, and it's great, good competition. And that's what America and the world needs right now, right? So let's segue into that, Joe. We're talking about your ideas of being a consumer or a producer, and let's talk about your thoughts on this.
Yeah, so this is something that I've been thinking about a lot lately. And everybody I think everybody has like this image in their mind of someday when I've made it, like this is what my life will look like. And I imagine that for most people, it's a life of 100% consumption. I will consume this type of entertainment. I will consume this type of education because that type of learning tickles my brain. And I will consume this type of food and consume this type of time and weather, and everything in your life is in your imagination is centered around 100% consumption, whatever that is that you're consuming. And the reality is for most people, including myself, most of our day already, most of our life already is one of consumption, because everything you do in life is consuming something. You're consuming energy, you're consuming air, you're consuming time, you're a consumer of food and everything. And there are very small parts of our lives where we're actually producers, where we create, where we produce value. And for a lot of people, you're a producer of a warm body, right? For a job, a meaningless job, or you're a producer of like 8 hours of time. And that's, given how much we consume, that's such a small percentage of what we do in life is producing. And when you look at the most successful people around us, they're not producing 100%. Nobody is. They're producing maybe 5% or 10%. And so the more we can turn into a producer, creating value for those around us, for the marketplace, your life just accelerates into the direction that you want to go. And it's such it's counterintuitive because we think we're working towards consumption, but we're already consumers. And the more we produce, and the biggest millionaires and billionaires, those are the ones who produce the most value.
I'm glad you bring that up, because on my channel, I love to talk about you reap what you sow. It's an old parable. It's so true. And both me and Joe believe in this parable. You reap what you sow. When you give, you receive. It doesn't always come in the form that you expect, but it starts coming back multiplied. Now, both of us, and Joe, I'm sure you can attest to this, we've seen people, even in this industry, that want to just take from you. They want to look, what can you give me, right? People like to put themselves on high places, and then they go, what can you give me? And to be honest with you, me and Joe decided we're going to start to sow and we're going to start to give. And my passion, and I think it's yours too, Joe, we want to start sowing in every financial realm when it comes to where people's net worth is. To me, I get more excited about helping people in the lowest realms and giving them all the tools that I can, lowest realms, the lowest net worths, because they can go nowhere but up. And I want to be able to lift people up. But to do that, I have to give them the tools and knowledge possible to do that, right?
Yeah, so that's what, like 100%. And when you look at from it like a macroeconomic perspective, why is our country, why is our world in the situation that it's in right now? It's because the people who are in charge don't understand the reality of the consequences of their actions, and the people who are not in charge don't understand the consequences of those actions. So they're following along with it. And the reality is, if everybody knew the right actions to take and then took them, we wouldn't be in this situation. And so, number one, if everybody starts to learn, the more people that learn, the better. The more people who become wealthy, the better. The more people who become more financially responsible, the better everybody will be, because there will be more producers creating more wealth for everybody.
Man, you just fired up an awesome idea, because so many in my mind, because so many people say, well, no, but not everyone can own a business because there's nobody to work for them. And that's actually not true, or sort of. You know, in the industrial age, when the Industrial Revolution started popping up, or when immigrants were coming to America in hopes for a better future for their family, for themselves and their family and their lineage, a lot of people used to think like that, like multi-generations down. They would say, right? I heard a really good word once, a parable: a wise man saves money for his children's children, right? Someone that thinks multi-generationally. Well, what happened is they came off the boat at Ellis Island. They came into the country in hopes of a new world, amazing opportunities, and they started businesses. Most people started businesses. That's where we got amazing Italian food. That's where we got amazing clothes from, because we had seamstresses show up, chefs show up, and people with skills, and they put them to work. And today, Joe, wouldn't you agree that there has never been a bigger need, especially in America, to take back our country by becoming a producer again?
Yeah, well, that's exactly. So what we talked about at the beginning, when you have, look at most of your life, you are a consumer in almost every single area of your life. And in a small part, you're a producer. So if everybody increases the amount that they produce a little bit and becomes a small business owner, let's say, just hypothetically, everybody's a small business owner. You say, oh, well, there's not enough to go around. Nobody can do that. The problem is that's not true, because everybody is a consumer way more than they are producer. So I am going to be a customer for 100 people's businesses, and I'm going to only create one business myself. And so there is enough to go around. And the fact of the matter is, the more wealth that's created, the cheaper wealth gets for everybody. That's what growth is. That's what deflation is long term. And that's where we get to the place we want to be, where there's abundance of everything that people need and most things that people want. You get that from everybody becoming more and more of a producer, not less.
Man, that's awesome. And I hope you guys understand, or feel the tone of our voices, because this is something that excites us both, because we want to be your cheerleader. We want to be your encourager. And starting a business isn't something it could be as small as a side hustle that makes you a few $1,000s a year. Maybe it's a side hustle that makes you 100,000 a year, or maybe it is a brick and mortar store that it turns into where you're crushing it and making millions of dollars a year. The choice is yours. Me and Joe are here to help you on that journey.
Yeah, 100%. And it starts with just one step at a time. You don't like especially me, I can get very overwhelmed if I try and say, okay, well, that's unachievable. I could never get there. But the reality is that compounding interest works not just in money, not just in investing. It works with everything. And so one tiny step here leads to you now can take one more step. And if you can't see very far ahead, go ahead as far as you can see.
Yeah. You know what? That's a great word. And actually, we got to close on this because we don't want this to run too long. And this will probably be airing by the time me and Joe are in Denver meeting with you guys. You guys are awesome. Please put in the comment section, you know, what you have done in life when you stepped out and saw success, or maybe you want to share a failure and what you learned from that failure. Wouldn't you agree, Joe? That's pretty important.
100%. Yeah, you learn a lot more from failures, especially if they cost you money.
I couldn't agree more. Well, thank you so much, Joe, for being on. This is Joe of Heresy Financial. Remember, guys, follow him. He is awesome. I can't wait to be doing more work with him. Again, put in the comment section below what you think about this collaboration, what we could do better. With that being said, the Economic Ninja is out.